Hey there. Today I want to talk to you about what I call the shared defense system between crisis communications PR teams and legal teams, specifically employment lawyers. This unique lane of law typically gets the call first when their clients hit troubling times. So building a reputation management plan is what great crisis teams do, as our strategy dovetails with legal strategy. They always need to align. Both professions live between these lines of risk management, exposure, and escalation. Many times, lawyers like to have the comms team do gut checks when an internal challenge can quickly become a headline, no matter how good media policies and dedicated spokesperson processes are within your organization. Often the first call comes in when something starts to unravel. Let's say it's an employee dispute or a termination or a workplace issue like sexual harassment, suspected fraud or abuse, or maybe it's a product recall, anything sensitive. At what point do you start thinking this could spill into the media or damage your reputation beyond this legal issue? How do legal and reputation management collide? To all the employment and business attorneys out there, is your client's name too big to stay out of the news? And if so, how do they manage it? Regardless if they are too small of an organization to make the news, both situations have a common denominator, and that is managing internal tensions, because they will rise anytime the heat gets hotter. PR and legal team talents complement one another during these troubling times. The clients or companies want to stabilize the narrative before it becomes public. When things are tough internally, obviously teams are walking on eggshells, and no one wants that. The general counsel, the external counsel, the leadership team, the PR teams, most leaders wait too long. And by that time, legal is handling issues the employee base, the customers, or even the media are already forming their own opinions. We've seen situations where in a 48-hour delay, the messaging created months of reputational damage. It's completely avoidable, or at the best, able to be minimized. We often are the quiet resources that can be looped in by employment attorneys in the early stages of that planning. That quick gut check needs to happen when something feels like it could escalate. What do you think are those trigger points as employment and business lawyers? We're very familiar with them. The bad customer service call, the rogue salesperson at a conference, a government body calling as part of an investigation, or a journalist, for that matter, calling because they got wind of something that your company or organization or your client wasn't ready to talk about publicly. So what's your 24-hour plan? Who is your A team in that organization for a crisis? What technology makes communication seamless and instant between that team? And who's your backup spokesperson? Always have one. Are you ready to streamline communications by updating the public and your stakeholders on a landing page or at a press conference? Or is it always going to be through the news media? Or worse, no comment. And we'll get to that. That's a whole nother topic. Put together an early warning checklist that becomes part of your playbook. We love building playbooks because it does give teams confidence before something escalates out of control. And it always does. We've had the privilege of working with the two of the largest law firms nationally that deal with employment and business issues. That's all they do. They're experts. We have the utmost respect for each other's role as we complement one another in what I call, again, that shared defense system to minimize risk, exposure, and escalation. The bottom line is, don't wait until it's too late. Legal and PR teams should always align and make sure that PR strategy respects legal strategy and doesn't jeopardize anything. Operate under the assumption that anything said publicly will make it into a courtroom. Lawyers, you can rest assured, keeping this concept top of mind, aligning PR and legal strategy, we have your best interest in mind. Obviously, the client benefits in the end as well, both of our goals. I love to talk about reputation management and crisis communications. There's a lot of good ways to manage and mitigate and move on when it comes down to issues that surface. And they always do. What is your plan for your organization or for your clients? If you learned something, hit that like button and feel free to share.